Welcome, fellow potties, to True Tall Tales, where reality dances on the edge of absurdity and the unbelievable becomes the norm. I'm your host, Sunny Boy, no stranger to the bizarre myself, from teenage circumcisions to impromptu finger removals, ouch, and even fending off ferocious sausage dogs. My life's a whirlwind of oddities turned into epic sagas. But fear not, dear listeners, for this isn't about my escapades. Oh no, it's a carnival of the extraordinary, a circus of the surreal, where each tale is jaw-dropping than the last. And today, we've got a treat for you. Picture this, a guest who's part Fabio, part Downtown Abbey. A true enigma. Meet our next storyteller, the maestro of mischief, the sultan of silliness, Prince Charming Harry. This prankster extraordinaire once had me convinced his towering hound had a vendetta against eye contact. Imagine my relief when I finally visited his den of delightful deceit. So buckle up, potties, for the roller coaster ride through the realms of the unbelievable. Sit back, relax, and prepare to be spellbound by the tales that will have you gasping, giggling, and maybe even questioning reality itself. Welcome to True Tall Tales, where the truth is always stranger than fiction. Welcome to the show, Harry.
My goodness. Thank you. That was wonderful. That was really wonderful.
You're welcome. So, as I said in that intro for you, you are one thing why we get along is we both are pranksters. And when I visited your house for the first time, Harry has a dog that's like 3 meters. I don't even know. What type of dog is it?
He's a German Shepherd Great Dane. He's a big boy.
Oh, he's a big boy. There you go. Half Great Dane, half German Shepherd. And he said to me, I got out of the car and he's like, look, I've got this new dog. Just don't give eye contact. If you do, he might go for you. And I'm a dog person. So the whole time I'm walking into Harry's house, I have my head turned like this, walking through the doors. And Harry's wife is like, hey, Sonny. And I'm like, what are you doing? And I just wouldn't give anyone eye contact. And he bullshitted me the whole time. And I fell for it.
That's wonderful. That was wonderful. That was the closest I've been to actually pissing myself.
Oh, literally. It was so funny. And especially because I'm someone that pranks people. So I'm glad you got me because I'm hard to be pranked. I am a little bit naive. So that's probably why I believed it. But as you know, the show is about sharing stories that you have about anything. So take it away. And we're excited to listen to it for today's episode.
Goodness me. Hey, first of all, do you mind? Am I all right to have a beer?
You can do whatever you like. This show's unfiltered. You can swear, you can cough, you can have a beer. Okay. I spoke to Tess last night. She's in Vancouver. She'll smoke in a joint because it's legal there. So you can do whatever you like.
There you go. Well, cheers. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Cheers. Thanks for coming on the show.
Mate, where do we start? Where do we start with something like this?
Well, is your story evolving how we used to work together and how it was the weirdest place that we worked at and why? I think that's what you messaged me about. I can lead you in with that.
Yeah. I think it was when we first started working together, before we even knew each other, before we even met, when we were paired together, working at a place in Sydney. And can we say the place?
No, I reckon we don't say the place just in case of the story. Yeah, okay. We'll just say the place. It's in the city. You can play it like that and describe
it. Popular, an unbelievably popular place in the city. It's always busy and there's always quite a few famous people walking through. You need to be there kind of place. And it was my first shift and I was paired with Sonny. It was we had obviously training and Sonny introduced himself, and as soon as I say hello mate, I'm Harry, he said in like a perfect Birmingham accent, Sonny, take that away. What did you say?
I said hello Harry, my name's Sonny. I'm like, where are you from?
Yeah, and that was it. I was like, cool. There was no context for me to be like, yeah, he's obviously just from Birmingham. So we did the full shift of Sonny.
A full shift together.
Yeah, like zero let up.
I'm like, Harry, you're right with those tables. I'm like, just come over here. Then if you need me, just yell out, yeah? Like the whole shift.
The whole shift. And then I think we finished the shift. I don't think I even found that until later, like way later, that you weren't from Birmingham. And then I think that sort of really teed us up to who we were, what we were going to be like together. And I think we've said this before. For one thing, we need to spend more time to like reminisce, because we were together such a long amount of time, and it was just such like there were stories constantly. Every single day there was something, and I think some of them were just very anecdotal about like in this really posh place that we worked. It was unbelievable that they had no toilets for patrons, and it was like the conversation.
Harry, this as well to add in. This place we worked at was like he said, very high end, expensive. People go there for breakfast and pay $80 for scrambled eggs. Like places made out of gold. We're wearing like really short, like what are those things put over our shoulders?
Braces.
That go over us that would hold up our shorts. And you know, if you go rock climbing and it looks like, and it really pulls your shorts up so you can see someone's package, like you can just see what it got in there because it's crumbled up. That's what it was like for our penis.
Crumbled up.
And it was like we were kind of like prostitutes, like the way we'll dress, the way that the girls would dress, like Sailor Moon. Like it was a weird place of what we had to wear. It was, but you know what I mean? Like
it was weird. It was, I remember that it was weird. Just just going through like the 1 or 2 white shirts that I had that would be way too tight. Or like you'd be absolutely screwed if you didn't have any braces. Like,
if you didn't have your braces, like it's just, you're done. But I think where Harry's going this, which I'll lead him in, is that this place was so rich, so expensive. Celebrities go there. You pay so much for a meal, and there's no someone goes, excuse me, could you just point out where the toilet is, please? Because they're looking for ages, really confused. And then Harry, take the lead.
And you'd have to embarrassingly say, bearing in mind you want a tip, so you'd be like, really casually, the toilets are actually, if you just walk out of here, if you take your first left and go up, there's a fitness first. If you go up the escalators next to fitness first, it's just on the right hand side, and they'll look at you and be like, you're joking, that's a joke, right? And you sort of nod politely and laugh and go, no, that's actually where they are.
You gave the short version. It's actually up the escalators. When you get to the top, turn left, you walk past the sushi place, go all the way past the sushi place, turn right, then you'll see Fitness First, and it's to the right of Fitness First. That's exactly how it is, because I remember saying it every day.
And it got awkward when it was somebody had just ordered their like deliciously really, come on, it's piping hot. And they're like, oh shit, I just really need to go to the bathroom. And then come back and it would be stone cold. And you sort of like, how do you do about that? Actually, what do you do? It sucked.
It's so true.
Like -4.
It's so true that Harry says that, because they've just paid it, the meal's got there, their coffee's there, and then you tell them where the toilet is, and like they are lost. This is inside a shopping mall. They're on like level 3, don't know where to go, don't know how to get back down, and then they come back and all their food's cold.
And then Sonny, then the toilets themselves. Goodness me, those toilets, especially the ones, there was one sort up near Fitness First, the ones down near JB Hi-Fi. Both of them were dens for, how do you say that? For
well, before we get into that, don't even say what it is. Let the listeners lead into it. So Harry was the newest person to start at work. I trained him. This is many years ago, by the way. And no one warned me, so I don't think I warned Harry. I think everyone just lets it go. So Harry came back from the toilet and was like, oh my God, like kind of red in the face, kind of like scared, petrified. I knew what he went through because I went through the same thing, but it was kind of like, well, that happened to me, so I want you to go through it. And I was kind of laughing at the same time. And everyone that works there kind of knows that this happens. And Harry was the closest to me. So he come up to me and he was like, hey, I just went to the toilet and I feel very, what was the word you used? You're kind of laughing.
A little bit violated.
Yeah, that was it. You're like, Sonny, I really need to speak to you. I just went to the toilet and I feel like I just got violated. And I'm laughing. And I said, why, Harry? What happened? Anyway, tell them what happened and then I'll tell my story after it.
I think I feel like it's been...
You're doing a number 2.
That I've kind of blocked out. Potentially. That was
no, you were.
Nice.
I was doing a number 1. That's why your story's here, because you had the eyeball.
Oh, okay. Well, that's the other one. I was thinking of a different one. That one, I was in the upstairs toilets doing my thing, and then you see the gap in between the doors, and you see literally this poking up. And I think obviously down on your phone, and you look up, and then you lock eyes with someone, but you can't see their face. Is the most confronting feeling ever. The other one I was thinking of, Sonny, was...
Wait, Harry, just trying to say... Whoa. So you're sitting down doing a number 2. and you look through the crack of your door and you saw an eyeball watching you. You missed one thing out. You said to me that once you realized it was an eyeball with the guy watching you take a shit, you got your leg and went, get out of here, and hit the door.
Like,
shoo! You're missing details out.
man.
And then you
fully
come running
blocked most of this
downstairs
out.
and you told me that. And I was like, I know, dude, I've gone through the same
Get out of here.
thing. What were you going to say? What was
Get
the
out
other
of
one? I
here.
didn't realize it happened to you more than once.
No, the other one was like, I thought you were talking about the other one. The other one was when I was in the downstairs bathrooms and I didn't have my glasses on, and there was a guy who was showed me his package, and it took me by surprise. And I was sort of, I remember vividly sort of squinting, which would have been the most embarrassing.
Wait, that's right. Harry also wears glasses. He doesn't have them on at the moment, and he does have glasses on at work. So you're at the urinal, right? And you think you can see the guy at the end's penis, but you're not sure because that just doesn't happen in real life. So you're squinting.
Yeah, sort of, without trying to be rude, because it wasn't like, I can see it. It was like it was being presented towards me in a very flattering way. Like it was like someone presents a bottle of wine.
Oh, really? Sauv Blanc? Would you like the Sauv Blanc or the Chardonnay?
Exactly. Yeah, like they may as well have had like a tea towel over there with just
Was it hard or soft?
Well, that's what I was squinting to see. I couldn't really couldn't really figure it out. I wasn't too sure. But I remember squinting, and then I remember sort of being like, oh, I think I understand what's happening here. Sort of finished, shook, went out, washed my hands, and as I was walking out, remember I said to you, he like came running behind me and really closely. I could feel his breath on the back of my neck, and he whispered, "Did you like what you saw?" And I was like, "Gosh."
Did you like what you saw? That's it. That was the second time it happened to you, because the first one was the eyeball. The second one was, do you like what you saw? You come up and, like I said, you got used to it, and you're like, oh my God, I just had like another moment in the toilets where we're setting the customers, and you're like, do you like what you saw? To add to Harry's story, I started at this venue that we worked at, this bougie place before Harry, and no one told me anything. And I said, I really need to go to the toilet. They said the same thing, up the escalators, turn left, past the sushi place, turn right, you'll see Fitness First. You turn right past Fitness First. I'm like, really? Like, is that where I got to go to the toilet? Is this for staff? They go, no, that's for customers as well. And I was like, oh my God, this is so weird. I'm never going to get tips after this. So anyway, I go to the toilet, and the urinal's really, really long. And I always go for the corner, and I was at the urinal wing, and there was a guy right at the other end wing. So he was quite far away, at least like 8 meters. Anyway, as I'm doing a wee, I'm looking forward. In the corner of my eye, I could see like movement, like going, if anyone's watching this on YouTube, I could see movement with my arm going like this. And when that's happening, you're kind of like, well, what is that? So I just turned. And as I turned and looked right to see where it was, as Harry explained before, it was like a bottle of wine. Mine was like a bottle of wine being presented to me hard. And that's not normal.
Upright.
Like, upright. Hard. And when it happens, you're kind of like in shock because it's a public toilet. You're at work. You've just gone for a cheeky wee. You're at a new venue that you worked at, and I felt like I did something wrong. That's how I felt. So as I saw this and realized, and that's what Harry said, I kind of looked more. Like I kind of went, wait, what am I looking at? And then realized what it was, and then turned, and I was halfway through my wee, and I just quickly dribbled it. I don't even think I finished my wee. I had so much more wee to go, and I dribbled it up, and I ran in my braces, in my little prostitute outfit that we have to wear at work, and I ran down the escalators down.
Right.
I was like, guys, you have no idea what happened. Like, this guy was showing me his bottle of wine exposed at the toilet. And they're like, oh, yeah, that happens all the time. We think that's like a meeting place and stuff like that. I'm like, whoa, this is where we send our customers.
This is our venue.
Do we send our customers while they're having breakfast? They then bring their kids or whatso up to this place, and they're being exposed to bottles of wine upright. So, very funny. You just kind of get used to it. And then I think after that happened, I would never, you know how females go to the toilet together to be safe? I understand why they do it in public at bars and stuff like that, or they powder their nose, whatever it's called. I would never really go to the toilet with my mate, but now since that, I'd be like, Harry, I'm gonna go to the toilet to do a wee. Do you need to come? And I'd always bring a friend with me to go for a wee, because then it was like it wouldn't happen because you're like talking and I think they hear who's coming in and stuff. So I would do a wee, and my friend, if it was Harry, would do a wee, and it was fun. So I always brought a friend to the toilet at that venue to do a piss. But while
leaving our tables.
Yeah, clear.
Leaving our tables. Nobody's being served.
I think what Harry's trying to explain is like, not only did you send the customers here, we had to use the same toilets, and it was just so crazy. This place we worked in had no toilets. Like, I think that's kind of illegal. I think it's not illegal because it's in the same premises, like that it's in a mall. I did look it up.
Let me explain that. Yeah.
Did you have any other stories about that place? Because that's so funny that you say that. It's so true. It was such a, and it's so funny. Oh, what Harry said at the start of that conversation is, yes, I did pretend to Harry that I was from Birmingham for a week, from England. And after a week, I said, oh, by the way, I'm Australian. And he's like, wait, what? I'm so confused.
This is it, Sonny. This is why I love you. It was the joke was for 1 week, for one full week, the joke was just Sonny, just on that next Monday, whatever it was, just saying, oh, I'm really from Sydney. And you're like, oh, no way. That was the joke. Like, it wasn't like we're filming it. It was just funny.
No, but to add to that, Harry and I were both, actors studying acting. And I did say to him, I like practicing my accents in public places to practice the accent. So if you believe me and you're from England, then it must be fucking convincing.
You're very good at it. Real solid. Man, it was a fun place to work. It was fun place to work.
I know. I do. It was like high school. Hey, it's like a little bit naughty. Yeah. There's always like new hot people coming in all the time, and then like gossip in
between. Yeah, it was solid. And I think the one thing that we always used to do was like, say we only ever used to work mornings. Hey, so we'd work like 6 a.m. till 2 p.m. something like that, and then we would go potentially have a beer. I think I was always like, let's just go have one. There was a place next door that you could just go and have a beer, sit outside, have a pint. And there was a few nights where we were stumbling back. There was one night where you messaged me and you were like, dude, I don't know. I don't even know where I am. Like, it was insane. Like, after a few pints turned into like 5 or 6. And then we'd have like a shot or something. And then just be like on our merry way at 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
Like, night then.
And we'll leave. Yeah. No, you had to in that place because it was like a fun place to work in, but it was also stressful. I think, here we go. Here's a good story. And look, anyone that's listening to this episode, if you work in hospitality, can probably relate to it. We just think out of all the hospitality places we worked at, this is probably the weirdest one ever. Hence the stories that Harry just told that I elaborated on. But I think this is Harry's, and this is all about true tall tales, and this is just coming straight to my head. I think this is one of Harry's favorite stories that happened to me, where I had like a 72-year-old woman in the VIP room, the VIP room that we had in there. And I worked in there sometimes, and it was kind of nicer in there because it was easier, less tables and more tips. And the lady said to me, look, I want to order a cappuccino. I said, yes, with full cream milk. I said, yes. She goes, but I want it extra, extra, extra hot. If it's not extra hot, I will send it back. And I said, no problems. Extra, extra, extra hot. And I'm a good waiter. And I said, no problem. She goes, no. What did you write on? I said, I don't. She goes, you need to write that down. I said, no, you're only ordering a coffee. I'll remember that. Coffee, full cream milk, extra, 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 extra hot.
The angriest.
Yeah, no problems. I said, I've got this for you. So I ran over to Josh, who's one of our good friends. Hi, Josh, if you're listening to this episode, you sexy man. And I said, what a guy. He lives in Holland at the moment with his girlfriend, Hannah. Anyway. Look at my ADHD kicking in. So I said to Josh, hey, make sure you make that coffee extra, extra, extra hot because I'm going to get in so much trouble. She's very specific about this. She goes, no problem. Josh, he goes, I got you. And I grabbed the coffee to bring it over, and it was so hot that I couldn't even touch the outside of it. And I said to Josh, is that the hottest you can go? He goes, one thing you got to understand being a barista, there's only so hot you can go with milk. Otherwise, the milk would be burnt. And I said, okay. And he goes, you can't boil it like water. I said, okay, like this is the hottest you can get it. I was like, all right. So I brought it over to the lady and I said, here's your cappuccino, full cream milk, extra, extra, extra hot, making it fun, not being like condescending. Yeah. Anyway, I gave her the the coffee. I don't know if you remember this now. You're
I
trying to
don't
see where this
remember
is
this.
going. And she took a sip like this, and then she put it down, and then in silence, out of nowhere, she gets her hand and puts it in the whole coffee, and he goes, "Does that look hot to you?" And I'm like, it's like 7:30 in the morning. I've just got this 72-year-old like Chanel lady with her hand shoving it in her drink like that, with her whole hand in the coffee, going, "Does that look hot to you?" And I was like, "Whoa! Like, I think you're really old that you can't feel it. Like, you're being burnt right now. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, she's got 2-degree burns and she doesn't know because she's elderly. Like, I was like, I need to help you."
Oh man. Pulls hand out, it's just blisters.
Blisters everywhere, 2-degree
Man,
burns.
mate, I've never heard that story. That's
What do you
wonderful.
mean? How do
That
you
is
not remember
wonderful.
that? Oh, that's a new one for you. Oh,
Man.
dude, I thought, because that was another thing is, we've left something out. So
Mm.
we also have radios at work. So like with the
I
earpiece.
wasn't allowed them.
Oh, you didn't do. Well, I did the door, so I would have like a radio piece, so I could say things to people, and I would just be like, I would just whisper things, and I'm like, "Mut rash," you know what I mean? Like, extra long
Do you know
foreskin.
what I mean?
Like, why they're
You know what I
serving
mean?
a table and they're serving a table like extra long foreskin like that, and they'll be like, "Bro, like stop
Yeah.
doing that. Like I'm serving
Yeah.
a person." Anyway, that was fun. So I was kind of naughty, but
Yeah.
a very good worker. I was a hard worker, but I was naughty, and you were heaps naughty as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there's a real solid balance between like, anyone listening and has worked hospo, you understand that sometimes hospo is just a drag, and it isn't necessarily because the work is hard or the people are annoying. It's not nothing to do with that. You just want something to kick on your day, and if it's like waiting tables, having a great time at tables, but also being able to go and like fill up water with Sunny in the corner and just chat shit, just about something. It was nothing particular. That is like the epitome, I think, is when when you're just in a flow. And I noticed it when you weren't working, and you sort of just like, felt like a puppy without a stick,
Oh, Harry. And because I did leave, and it's funny you say that. I'm having flashbacks now because it's kind of like there's so many things that go. It's like you're acting, being an extra in a TV show as well. So when we used to, like Harry mentioned, when we went to the water tap to fill up the bottles, well, the tap was really slow. So it took a while to fill up the water bottles, and you would do 3. And in that time, it's time for you to get like 5 minutes of like not serving any tables, not running drinks, not running food, and just having a chat to your buddy at work. So as you'd be filling up the waters, your water's ready filled up, but you just be like pouring one out and filling up the same one.
Yeah.
And you knew the manager was like watching you from like really far away. So then like you have a menu, and I'd be like, "Yeah, Harry, having a conversation, but pointing at the menu as if we're talking about something in the menu, and then pointing to the tables. Really, we're having a conversation about like outside of work going for beers while pointing at the menu and tables. So from far away, it looks like we're talking about work with all the actions, but really we were talking like something about something weird, about the toilets upstairs or beers or
some random tangent about something live, some random, or like the questions, just questions. I feel like anyone working in hospital, you fill days with like, would you rather do X or Y? And it's just, I don't know, it passes the time, it makes you go. Some of the ones that were just that just made you think or laugh or giggle or do something.
What about how I touched? Well, I shouldn't say it like that. It sounds wrong. I'm a very nice person. I'm like, "Hey, how are you?" Like, I'll touch you on the shoulder or the back. Like, how do you express that? Like, I'm not touching you. Like,
just affectionate.
I'm if I know you, I know my boss.
In a really creepy way.
No, don't say it like that. No, but like, "Hey, how are you?" Like, I'm a very nice person. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but anyway,
affectionate. Kind.
Harry, tell the person about when I did that to our boss. She turned around.
I mean, she
did like me, but this was just like came out of nowhere. Your eyes just went in the back of your head.
It was hectic. It was so intense. It was Sunny very kindly and affectionately, in his mind, went up to someone, and it was just our boss at the time. And I think you put your hand on their shoulder. Just in a friendly. It was a friend, like, "Hey, do you need this?" Or, "Hey," it was something. It was a question.
"Do you need me to do this for you or something?" Yeah,
exactly.
Back of the show, not like bum or back or ass or anything like that.
Gooch. It was like tornado from that moment. It was just I don't know whether there was an F-bomb thrown in, but it was like a "get off me," now, like screaming red face.
Yeah.
It was like hectic, real hectic. Made everything like tense up. Made my
I got
butt go
attacked.
like this.
But our boss is like that to a lot of people, so it wasn't personal. She was just different. She was Eastern
Oh,
European, and they're just a little bit tough, and they're just different ways. So I always understand where people are from different countries or places and stuff. So I get it because I did have a soft spot for her. I liked how hard she was.
I loved her.
Yeah,
I
so she
loved
was a
her. There
good
was
character.
something about that I just absolutely loved. Also, I think sometimes, when, yeah, I just loved her. I thought she was cool. I think you did too. There was something that was real, just like, yeah, nah.
Yeah, she means well. What about how we had our other boss, the supervisor guy, where he always wear a hat?
We need to be careful, Sonny, on how close we get to.
No, but that's not saying anything bad. That's a funny story. Where
which one's it?
Well, he always wore a hat.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, this is how naughty we were, and Harry would like try to throw No, what would you do to try to knock his hat off to see if he's bald or something? Like, how mean is this? This is like high school, isn't it?
Yeah, it wasn't like throwing a table. Like, fucking knock it off. There were certain things. Him and I never really saw eye to eye.
We got along. Yeah.
You did significantly more.
Yeah.
And it was just like, when you're standing in a circle and they smile through the circle and then see you and just scowl. It was that. It was just something. It could have been anything. Just but I loved him, and I loved like just trying to get through that little layer. Like, what is that? Like, I wanted to see what was on the other side.
It was one of the best hospo jobs I worked at, just because what we wore was strange. You were funny. Every time I saw you working on the booths and stuff, you're always selling yourself to get tips and stuff. And I'm like, and then like, there's like 88 drinks at the bar to be run, and you're there like, tell me where you're from. Like, you remind me of that like the schmuck from New York. Like, tell me where you're from. Anyway, it was hilarious. Harry was a very popular guy there when he started there. All the women fell in love with him, and they're all from like, one's from Colombia, one's from Turkey, one's from France. That's what we loved about it's hospo, right? Everyone's from another country. So like Harry walking in, he had long blonde hair there. Your hair looks Renger now. Are you Renger?
No, I don't think so. Maybe it's just what do you think of the short hair, Sonny? Are you a fan, or I know you never wanted me to cut my hair ever.
No, only because Harry had, anyone that's watching on YouTube, he had long hair like me. So when he started wearing the braces, he pretty much looked like Thor, Chris Hemsworth. Cool, the long, and it was blonde, not even dyed blonde, like long blonde hair walking in. But yeah, it was hilarious. It was a good look.
And what do you think of the short hair, Sonny? You a fan?
I mean, it suits you. I think you can pull off any hair. I can't have short hair because I look like a rat. Like I look like Splinter from Ninja Turtles.
What a character.
Are you good? I always ask people this, did you have another true tale at the top of your head? If not, I will wrap it up because I know you're a busy person and I can tell you a quick story, or if you have one, feel free to talk. I ask that of all the guests that I've got on the show.
Sonny, I could settle into this. I wish we were in person doing it.
What about we do the next one in person?
Oh, sick. I would love that.
And then you can bring another true tale. Okay, cool. So I say that to everyone. You should come back on the show because everyone on the audience and people that listen to this get introduced to either all these random people that I'm bringing on the show. And then I'll get them back because then they feel like I remember him. I like, yes, what's his next story? I like that of what I'm trying to create with that. So we'll get you back on the show. We'll do it in person. So we're next to each other. Like George and I did at the W Hotel, which was in episode 1. So yes, we will do that. I think it'll be fun to do it in real life, and then we can have a beer while we're doing it.
Oh, I love it. I love that.
Before you go, I'll wrap it up then with a true tall tale that I've got for you and the guests that you wouldn't know. When I was working at Coca-Cola when I was 21 years old to pay off my uni fees, I worked there and it was like sales. So I was on the phone talking to all the businesses that ordered Coke. Cut the story short, that never happens with me. I was great the way that you know me, how I am at work and on the phone. It's like, hi, Harry, and you're from the business from the Hill Tenant talking. Anyway, cut the story short, I got called into HR, which is bad, as you know. And I'm not a bad person and I don't break the rules. I'm a good person. So I was nervous, but also you get called into HR, you think instantly that you're getting fired. So I got in there and the lady's like, hey, and she could tell I was really nervous and I was like swallowing my spit, like just so quiet, little young boy, sunny boy at 21. And she's like, look, we just need to talk to you. Don't worry, you're not in trouble, but we have some concerns. And I was like, okay. She's like, look, we've been listening to your calls for quality insurance. I said, yes. And she goes, what's with the accents? And I was like, what do you mean? And you're doing like 120 calls a day, you know what I mean? So she had 6 calls, I think she had that to show me. One call I was from England, one call I was from America, one call I was from like India. I was like, hello, I'm Sunny from Coca-Cola. I was American. I'm like, welcome to Coca-Cola, speaking with Sonny Joe. And it was like, you're Indian in this, you're Irish. I'm like, what's your, okay, let me look into that for you. Like, Irish. Well, this is like every day. This is like 120 calls over like 6 months, right? And I said to her, she goes, look, you're getting 100% on the calls. Like, you're saying everything you should write. You're saying all the things. She goes, but why are you not speaking with your normal accent? You know, she shows the Indian one. She shows this other one. I said, look, I'm studying acting at the moment, so I'm just practicing my accents. And she's like, look, it needs to stop. And you just need to do your normal accent of Australian. I don't have a problem with it, but we're just concerned on why. I think they thought I had like split personalities or something like that. And I needed to get help. But no, I said I was practicing them. So I stopped after that. But it was just so funny, like sitting in HR and they're like, we're just a little bit concerned. And then they have 6 examples of 6 calls that I listened to. I'm like, welcome to Coca-Cola.
I would love to hear them. I'd pay to hear those.
Right? I know. Anyway, I thought I'd add that in because the first time you ever met me of how we become friends, I pretended for a week that I was British and you believed it. And then after a week, I was just like, no, I'm from Sydney. And it just threw you off. And that's how you're like, I need to be friends with this dude. That is hilarious. Yeah. Who keeps that up for a week?
That's my boy. That is it. I remember afterwards going back to Ness and being like, I need to stick with this guy for as long as I possibly can. He's my guy.
He's going to get through this. Well, thank you for coming on the show. Right. Guys, Harry also has some really cool shirts and hoodies and jumpers that he's made. www.wolfbearcollective.com. Check it out for every garment that is sold. They do plant 5 trees. Is that correct?
That's 100% correct, Sonny Joe.
Yeah. Yes, check it out. I'll also put the details of the socials and the website on this information on this episode. So please check it out because it is a really good cause and it is really cool shirts and it is really cool hoodies. Harry will be back on the show again, but we'll do it in person. And thank you again for coming on the show. Say hello to the family for me. And
of course. Yeah. Of course, thank you. Really, Sonny, thank you so much, man. You didn't need to do that shout out. I appreciate it.
No, of course. I'm a big fan of any of my friends of any career or what they're doing in their lives. And I'm so happy it's going well. And I'm a fan of you guys and I'm a fan of it. So my name is Sunny Boy. His name is Harry. If you want to reach out and be on the show, please reach out to True Tall Tales Podcast at gmail.com or any of the socials. We'll speak to you soon. Thank you for listening to our stories. Thank you, Harry. We'll speak to you soon.